The cruelty has to stop. It's been going on for too long. We've let it go on for too long. And I know our lives are important, but so are theirs.
There were 10 dogs on a property. They were severely abused dogs and had been for many years. Everybody in the area knew about it and nobody had done anything about it. One of the dogs had 5 chains wrapped around his body with 3 padlocks holding him in place, and he was bolted to a doghouse, and we had to get him off that doghouse and into a truck, and he was not friendly.
And at night, behind the shopping centers, in the garbage bins, your Tim Hortons, it's disgusting. There's kittens thrown in bins, mothers have them and walk away. It's, I don't know what you would call it, it's worse than ever, and it's getting worse every day. Your vets have charging more and more every year. The food has gone up. People are dumping them.
Many dogs that come in from puppy mills as well are often starving and emaciated. They don't hardly feed them at all. They want to spend as little money as possible on the animals so that their profit can be greater.
We, like you, are disturbed and dismayed when we hear yet again of another story of animal cruelty in the media. Dismayed because nothing much seems to change with time. Canada has its own particular set of animal welfare issues. Some would say the Canadian Federation for Animal Welfare Societies, for instance, that Canada's record in regards to this issue is dismal compared to many developed countries. When I and my partner and co-producer Shirley began this project on animal welfare, we were full of naive questions. I, for one, had never heard of the term puppy mill, being a relative newcomer to Canada. I don't understand how puppy mills persist, or how pet shops can sell dogs from puppy mills with apparent freedom. Nor do I understand how, in a nation of animal lovers, that someone can beat a puppy to death and get what amounts to a community sentence. We discovered that there were numerous groups picking up the slack, people who saw a need and decided that the only solution was to take action themselves.
Poppy, I guess, was getting along with them. So.
Okay. This is Andy Parent, who owns Big Sky Ranch. He pretty much takes in anything on 4 legs, including pigs, horses, goats, alpacas. He even has rescued buffalo.
I've had people turn around and leave here and start another sanctuary. And I just think that's great because, I mean, I can't take all the animals. So, and they ask me for guidance. How did you start? How did you, how did you do this? How did you do that? And you know something, honestly, I can't tell you. I really can't because my guidance was from somebody who was a lot higher. And all I can say is that search within your soul and you'll find out the right way to do it. That's what you got to do. You got to do it from the purity of yourself.
Part of the solution must also be in educating the public.
And so they think that the only thing they have to do is go out and purchase the dog, bring it home, and they have a wonderful family pet. They don't understand that there's a great deal involved, including training, nutrition, socializing, all of those things that go along with a pet in general, but breed specifically. So they get a complaint from a neighbor, this dog's barking all day long. So what we want to do is be able to go in and say, your dog's barking for a reason, and this is how you correct it. And so we avoid any repeat of violations.
Some of the changes that we need would be, one, education, like you say. People need to understand that they are animals that need our care, that they need to be with people, not alone, that they're not disposable.
Is there a particular story that has made an impact on you, whether it be one of your rescues or a situation that you were involved with?
There's one dog that we had come in, his name was Logan. He came in from a shelter, and we took him in because he was sort of a special needs dog because he had 5 legs. So that's very unusual. One of his back legs kind of came down and split into 2, and he had 2 feet, but the leg was just kind of hanging. So when he would try to run and things, it would get in his way, and he, would trip him and whatnot. So we brought him in, and we had his leg amputated. So he went from 5 legs down to 3 legs, became a tripod. But he was only a year old, and he was a sweet, sweet boy. And shortly afterwards, he was adopted. So that's one of those like it's sad and it's happy. It's, you know, to see him like that, but then he came in and we were able to help him, and now he's in a wonderful, loving home, and he's a happy, healthy dog now, enjoying life the way they should.
I think the bottom line here is that it's not important enough on a political agenda. I think that is the bottom line, because it's not for lack of support or will on the part of people. Many people would love to change the animal abuse laws and would love to lobby on our behalf. I just think everybody pretty much came to the same conclusion. It's a long, drawn-out process with very little result, and that time that they're taking to do that, they're taking away from what they're doing presently to help us.
Like any large city, Ottawa has its feral cat problem. All the groups that we spoke to say the most effective way to control their numbers is to trap, neuter and return them to the colony. Successful low-cost spaying and neutering has been government funded in many US cities, but not here in Ottawa, which relies on the work of voluntary groups.
There's no funding whatsoever, and in fact, there's no support, and we're providing a very useful service to the community. The numbers of cats would be much larger if we weren't doing the trap, neuter, release. There's a wealth of evidence that shows that for the alley cat problem, the rounding up and killing, which is the other alternative, just doesn't work. You can't round up and kill all the cats, no matter how you try.
But they're very happy cats.
It is people like Louise of the Cat Rescue Network and Gwen of the Country Cat Sanctuary who try to find homes for the abandoned cats they rescue.
My alarm goes off at 6:30. I get up, let the dog out. I have a dog in the house. And I start all the fresh waters. I do the litters. I do any meds I got to do. And then I jump in my van and head for work by 9. If I have cats going to the vets, I leave a little earlier, and I have a volunteer in Ottawa that picks them up from me and takes them to the veterinarians. Then I work all day at the dump on the loader. I do a man's job. And I have a trailer there. I put fresh food and water and milk. I buy the lactose-free.
For people like Gwen and the others featured in this film, animal welfare work is a major commitment of their time, effort and money. They are only motivated by a concern and love for animals in distress, and simply because it is the right thing to do.
Tell me, where are the angels? Are they only in my head? Is there one on either shoulder, telling me good from bad? Well, I sure could use an angel to hold me for a while, to show a little kindness and greet me with a smile. Calling all the angels. God knows I need an angel. Do you know of any angels? I sure could use an angel to hold